Greetings, Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This is your Western forecast for August 2024. Very important month to get your ducks lined up in a row, to do a lot of reevaluating, readjusting, where you've been building for maybe in the recent months, maybe in the last couple of years. You're very close to going to the next level for achieving success, achieving your goals. But August is the time to reevaluate and readjust, to really fine-tune, cross those T's, dot those I's, and then start pushing to the next level more in September. Why? So there's a lot of value in August, but it's more about revising, restructuring to get the foundations solid before moving to the next level. Why? Decision-making Mercury will be retrograde August the 4th through August the 28th. Mercury is that planet of information, communications. It retrogrades for about 3 weeks, every 4 months. And it's a time of having to revise, rethink, change your mind. But even bigger of that readjustment with Mercury in retrograde is expansive Jupiter every 3 years is squaring Saturn. Saturn are the limitations, the structures. It's holding back the growth of Jupiter. Jupiter squared Saturn every 3 years. It peaks August the 19th. It's often a time of job changes, a lot of financial restructuring, could test relationships. But before I break all this down and how it applies to you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or sign up for my 2-question offer. All right. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know I always like to start with where is the sun shining in your chart for Scorpio rising. Because the sun is where your attention is being drawn to. It's where you're lighting up. It's like, what's important? The last week of July, the sun goes into Leo every year through the first 3 weeks of August. So the spotlight of Leo is 10 signs past Scorpio. The 10th house is the sector of career, of leadership, of visibility, of fame. The major focus on all kinds of business matters, initiating new business. The new moon is on August the 4th in Leo in your 10th house of careers. By the time we get to the new moon, now you've really brainstormed and been thinking a lot about all your different career objective business opportunities. Now you're setting your intention on how to achieve these career goals August the 4th. Now, the sun will leave Leo on the 21st of August and go into Virgo, but that 10th house of career matters because of the new moon keeps the dominant theme till the next new moon at the beginning of August, or the beginning of September. So all of August, they even started at the end of July, there's a major emphasis on business career matters. Jupiter is the planet of opportunity, optimism, luck. Jupiter will be in harmony with the new moon. It'll be a sextile, which is an angle of positive opportunities. So if you're lazy, nothing's going to happen. But if you grab the bull by the horn, you grab that brass ring, that's the sextile of Jupiter, and you can really start to achieve a lot of your goals, career goals, with that new moon. What's interesting about the new moon on August the 4th, as you're setting your intention, it's also when Mercury goes retrograde from the 4th to the 28th. So with Mercury in retrograde, you've heard it all before, you're rethinking and revising. And so you want to really grow and go to the next level, seeking success. That's all that Jupiter, all that career sector. But with Mercury in retrograde, you're realizing now you got to do some fine tuning. You're not yet solid on the right path to achieve your career goals. So that's the Mercury in retrograde. Now, the Sun will leave Leo, go into Virgo, August the 21st, going into the 11th. But the career sector is still strong to the beginning of August, the beginning of September. So when the Sun goes into Virgo, and it will remain in Virgo through the first 3 weeks of September. But that last week of August, with Mercury still retrograde, you're still doing a lot of reevaluating, but now the Sun is spotlighting the 11th. The 11th is now you're starting to think more about the long-range goals, the 5-year plan goals, and Venus is that planet of being very sociable, very well-liked, very creative. Venus goes into Virgo, into the 11th, on August the 4th, when we're having the new moon, when Mercury goes retrograde. The Venus, once a year, will be there till the 29th. So Venus is in Virgo, in your 11th, the entire time Mercury is retrograde. And Mercury in retrograde, you could just keep changing your mind. What I find in my business, it seems like most of the Mercury in retrogrades for me are more where clients keep changing their appointments a couple of times. They will have forgotten, or they're in the wrong time zone. That just came up recently. Now, with the Venus, that planet of love and desire in the 11th, you could also be getting a lot of support from friends or support from organizations, teamwork with that, because that's what the 11th house represents. Now, big changes, but it's a time of this readjusting before moving forwards, because Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, goes into Gemini July the 20th till August or September the 4th, once every 2 years. Jupiter, you've been hearing me talking about this for a while now, expansive Jupiter, always seeking knowledge, travel, expansiveness, went into Gemini at the end of May 2024 for 1 year till May of 2025. But what's great about the Jupiter in Gemini for August is ambitious, assertive, fiery Mars is in Gemini, just really firing up all that growth of Jupiter. But the Mars and the Jupiter are in the 8th sector, which the 8th sign of the zodiac is Scorpio. And the 8th house, everything that Scorpio represents is what the 8th house represents. And so here's that Mars-Jupiter highlighting your 8th house. The 8th house can have, on a more mundane level, a real emphasis on financial negotiations, seeking out maybe loans, taxes, insurance, all these financial kind of negotiations. On a deeper level, the 8th house is the house of transformation, the occult, to astrology, to psychology, and there might be a real emphasis in really seeking more depth of who you are. Now, but all that Jupiter, Mars together in the 8th can be very favorable for attracting financial gifts, inheritance, and settlements, but taskmaster limiting Saturn is blocking the Mars, Jupiter, and Gemini. So every 3 years, Jupiter and Saturn come together, and it will be on August the 19th. Job changes, economic worries, this relocations, moving, that could, because Saturn has a lot to do with structures that Jupiter is trying to expand, but there's a lot of delays and stress with the Jupiter to the Saturn. The Mars keeps pushing. Fortunately, the Jupiter in the 8th, which is what you were trying to accomplish, but the Saturn could be delaying it or holding it back. But then the Jupiter-Saturn moves on after August the 19th, wait better until Mercury goes direct and we go into September. But then that Jupiter in the 8th continues once every 12 years till next May. And that is so favorable for getting more credit, loans, grants, financial gifts, inheritance. That's all under the 8th house. And on a much deeper level, the 8th house deals with your psychology, astrology, and Jupiter, you may want to be learning about it, or that you're gaining a great deal of wisdom and benefits. That's to Jupiter through counseling, through astrology. That's the 8th house. Now, the new moon on August the 4th is where we have set your intentions with career matters. That's being supported by Jupiter in the 8th, which could be business contracts, business partnerships, negotiations. Now, 2 weeks after the new moon is the full moon, where you get to see what you set your intentions on with the new moon, what's working and what's not working. This full moon on August the 19th will be in Aquarius in the 4th house. The 4th house can be home and family and property. This full moon is bringing a lot of those matters to light, is forming a square or hard angle to unpredictable, rebellious Uranus. So the full moon in the 4th of, let's say, real estate, in a hard angle to Uranus, there might be some unexpected upsets where you need to make home repairs, or you need to move, or there's damage to your living situation. But what's important about the 19th, or that full moon in the 4th, and that can also be family matters, family events, some family upsets. The expansive Jupiter is going to be squaring Saturn, peaking August the 19th, the day of the full moon. Now, you're going to be feeling that Jupiter-Saturn the whole month. I usually look at it the week before, the week after, where there might be a financial crisis. But often Jupiter and Saturn is pushing for a relocation change. And the full moon is falling in the 4th house of home and property in a stressful angle to Uranus. So there might be some unexpected surprises coming from family. It could also be unexpected surprises with your living situation. I just had a thought of one example with family, with all that being really worried about finances of the Jupiter-Saturn. If in your family, somebody gets pregnant, and that's a happy occasion, but babies cost a lot of money, and there could be a lot of worrying about supporting the child. Or there might be this unexpected damage to your place, and now you're having to, pay for it, and the constructions and the repairs, and that could cost a lot of monies. Now, Venus, that planet of love and desire and creativity, will be in Virgo, which is in harmony with Scorpio, but the entire time, Venus is in Virgo, in your 11th house of socializing, networking, friendships. Mercury's in retrograde. If you would, now this could be very favorable if you've already been if you're in a current relationship, and maybe more of a friendship, because Venus is in the 11th house of friendships, with the Mercury in retrograde, is doing a lot of talking and discussing, reviewing your friendships, especially if there is a big fallout, it may be around the 19th, and then pulling it back together with lots of conversation. If you should meet somebody, become infatuated with Venus in the 11th house, maybe it's because you went to a party, you were set up with a friend, that 11th house can be very sociable, and there's Venus. If you should meet somebody and that you're infatuated with, and Mercury's in retrograde, you want to, it's not always the kiss of death, but what you're expecting may be completely different. And if you can adapt to the different change, maybe you got all infatuated, and it's not that they lied, but maybe they withheld information that if you knew it before you got involved, you might have not gotten involved. But now you're involved, let's say, you get this information, like they're going through a divorce, or they have 2 kids, but you're already involved. So that could be the Mercury in retrograde, is having to just rethink and revise all of this, while Venus is in that joint, is in Virgo with the Mercury in Virgo, just doing a lot of talking about your relationship. I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go, that's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.